start today by posing a question that I know we're all wondering. Why did Zayn leave One Direction, right? Isn't that the unanswered question of the century? I think we're all still focused on it. Well, I'm here to provide you with a possible solution. So, I think that boy bands are so 1999, am I right? I mean, according to the boy band Wikipedia page, which is a thing, might I add, there are currently 141 boy bands doing the same thing as One Direction right now. So Zayn didn't like those odds, right? He wanted to do something different. He wanted to set himself apart and be extraordinary. So I'm not here today to talk to you about One Direction, even though I wish that was the topic of my conversation. What I'm trying to urge you to do is to find the extraordinary within yourself, find the extraordinary within your position, and do something with it, become something more. So a lot of panelists this year within my theme at South by Southwest focus on technology and utilize technology to become something more extraordinary. And so here are a few examples in cases that I learned. So first of all, have you heard of John Petroselli? Probably not. What about his company, Bulldog Digital Media? Probably not. But have you heard of Bonnaroo? And have you heard of Lollapalooza and Coachella? Absolutely. And some of you have probably even streamed those events live. Well, Bulldog Digital Media is actually in charge of all of the live streaming events at those major festivals. So when John first got involved in the music industry, festivals were not concerned with live streaming. It wasn't anything that was on a radar, and they were focused primarily on selling tickets, and they didn't see a purpose in live streaming if it wouldn't sell tickets. But one thing they didn't account for were societal trends, and that's exactly what John was looking at. John began to recognize that there was a massive adoption of mobile streaming, and he realized that this was going to be integral for the digital age. So the first thing that he did was research. And he discovered that the average content consumer is engaged with a live streaming website for 63 minutes. Now, let me put that in perspective for you. This is the same content consumer that, on average, interacts with a normal web page for less than a minute. So obviously, 63 is a lot larger than 1. I don't think any of us are going to debate that. But what does that mean? Well, for John, it meant monetization. It meant selling this means as a medium for brand engagement for brands. And so basically he sold it to companies as large as Pepsi and AEG, and now they began advertising at these festivals and reaching a large consumer base because of this live streaming. So why is this extraordinary? Why did I take forever just to tell you this story? Well, he not only trailblazed the way for live streaming, but he also stepped outside of his box and created a need. He created a purpose for his engagement and for his technology. So he could have gone through his 9-to-5 job, marketing and advertising for brands, but instead he created a different platform and he created something new. So ordinarily, John's a marketer, but extraordinary John, super John, he's an innovator. He created a purpose for himself. So let me show you some work from another brand guy's collection. So this is some work of Bill Galusha. He works at AutoFest, which is a video production company in California. So he created cardboard characters and innovated a world around them, which is pretty cool. He did that ad for Facebook. This is an advertisement from Nexus where he gathered 4 huge robots and had them interact through the use of a telephone. But recently they've been focusing more on interactive and immersive experiences. So this is an interactive laser show that his company created to advertise for the YouTube Video of the Year Awards this coming year. And they also created an interactive snow globe to debut some of Microsoft's products, which is really cool. You could walk into a snow globe and take pictures in slow motion, and I think that's everyone's dream. If not, it's just mine. But that's fine. So all of these experiences are different. They're immersive, they're intriguing, and they capture an attention for longer than 30 seconds, like a normal, typical ad. And that's why it's incredible. So all of this seems easier said than done, and I totally understand that. But I do believe that there have been people that have overcome obstacles much greater than the ones we're in and have been able to accomplish the same task. So first of all, this is Lizzie Velasquez, and she's the ugliest woman in the world. Now, I didn't call her that. I'm not trying to be offensive. The internet called her that, and we all know how powerful the internet is. So Lizzie Velasquez was bullied on the internet and basically created a social platform for herself using YouTube. And since then, she has told young individuals to recognize their inner beauty, develop self-confidence, gather your self-value based on what you see yourself as being worth, rather than what everyone else sees you as being worth. So she is extraordinary in the fact that her use of technology calls us to be something more, and that's extraordinary in itself. Now, finally, let's talk about Dr. Kate Stone. So Dr. Kate Stone is transgendered, but she calls us to focus on her work first, and so that's what we're going to do. So Dr. Kate Stone looked at paper and said, that could be so much more. She saw a digital future for paper, and that same digital future is what we're seeing for ink right now. But with this paper, she pulled an album cover, and she saw a symbol on it and said, well, wouldn't it be cool if you could push that symbol and the whole album would stream from right there? So she created that. She found a way to stream an album just by pushing a symbol on the album cover. No use of record players, no use of CD players. And then she decided, let's take this one step further. So she created posters, advertisements for bands that were playing in local British pubs. And all of those advertisements were stolen because they were simply ingenious. You could staple someone's music and say, yeah, I think I do want to check out that venue tonight. So then she moved on to the DJ decks. And that's exactly what she's signaling here. So a DJ can scratch their record on the paper, and you can hear it through the iPad or through speakers that you plug it into. There are so many uses for that. So obviously, I think it's pretty extraordinary that she looked at something that could be so dull and so plain and simple and turned it into something so extraordinary and something that can do so much more. So how do all of these people's work relate to us? Well, I'm not telling you to look at these innovations and say, yeah, okay, that's what I'll do. That's how I'm going to be extraordinary. Because there's nothing super extraordinary about a copycat, and I think we all know that. What I'm saying is we're all ordinary people, and we're all doing ordinary things, and we're living ordinary lives. But with a simple change of perspective and a simple step outside the box, you can become so much more than that. You can find something extraordinary. So don't be like Zayn. Don't follow the one direction. Oh, sorry, I messed that up. Be like Zayn. Don't follow the one direction that everyone else is taking. Instead, recognize the value within your ordinary self and within your ordinary position and create something extraordinary out of it. Thank you.